Hello and welcome to yet another video here on the YouTube channel Spelföreningen Fellowship. My name is Andreas Norwegian Viking, and today we take a closer look at the Battle Company's scenario of Fair, Fire and Foes. So this is one of my favorite scenarios because it uses buildings, it uses it to a nice touch, it has loads of terrain to hide behind, and you get to burn down stuff. So that's always fun. So as with all the Battle Company scenarios, you have to remember that the person with the lowest company rating chooses what scenario to play. And that is quite key because you need to be aware of all the different scenarios to actually be able to choose which one to pick that is the most beneficial either for you or the most beneficial against your opponent. So, Fair, Fire, Foes. The company has received orders that a certain village is to be destroyed for providing refuge and supplies to the enemy forces. As we descend upon the village, we discover that the village is not as poorly defended as we had thought. Will we be able to overcome the enemy company and destroy the village, or will we be driven away in defeat? Advancing on the village, a sentry cries out in night, but is quickly silenced. Nice touch there on the last one. The layout. It's a 4x4 foot table with a small village consisting of D3 plus 4 buildings between 5 and 7. All the terrain is placed outside for an interesting and visually pleasing layout. You might have a square, you might have woods, you can do anything you want. You can do orc huts, you can do shire, hobbit holes, you can do bree buildings, you can play it on a lake town board. The options are endless, or as endless as your terrain is. So make the boards look great, because that is what makes a Battle Company game awesome, is the amount of terrain and what you do with it. So, starting positions. The player with the lowest company rating may decide if he wants to be the attacker or defender for the scenario. So the person choosing the scenario is also the person who chooses what to be in the scenario, attacker or defender. That's also key in the scenario. The defender deploys first in the center of the village, whilst the attacker deploys within 6 inches of any table edge. The attacker has priority on the first turn. The objectives. The attacker wins the game if he's able to burn down 50% or more of the village structures to the ground or completely destroy the defending company. The defender wins if he's able to drive off the attacker before he completes his objective. So this is a change to the old rules where you didn't automatically win if you destroyed the enemy company. So this way you could actually run away before being able to burn down the village. So that's a nice touch, changing that one. Next one is the special rules. So any attacker may attempt to set a building on fire by spending 1 turn in base contact with the building without being engaged in a fight, and rolling a 4+ models with burning brands or torches and +1 to this roll. If he is successful, place 1 flame token on the structure and it's considered a light. If the building has any flame tokens on it, place 1 additional flame token on the building before rolling for priority on the next turn. A building is considered destroyed when it has 5 flame tokens on it. Defenders may attempt to douse the flames by spending a turn in base contact with the structure without being engaged in the fight, and rolling a 4+. If he's successful, remove 1 flame token from the building. So, a few key things here. That is, the first thing they changed is that it's now 5 flame tokens instead of 4, because it was quite easy to burn down the village. So remember that if you get a building in place, you add 1 flame token, and then you add 1 more before priority is rolled, so basically 2. And if you had multiple models and they were successful as well, that was 1 more flame token on it. So 3 models, all rolling 4+, would in the old scenario just automatically take down the building if the defender hadn't placed models on it. And that's the key thing, because if the attacker has priority, he moves into a building, you can see where it goes, and then you can place defenders on the building as well to douse it immediately before it gets more flame tokens on it before priority. So this way you can go cat and mouse around, you can do stuff around it, or you can attack models that try to light or douse the flames. Again, it's very fun to play. It is one of my favorite scenarios to play in the Battle Company series, so I do recommend this one, and it gives you the option to take out those foreground buildings and basically have a great time. So so please bear in mind that this is the scenario where burning brands is good to have. Do convert your models if you're using burning brands. That's the best thing to do. Use your imagination, convert. So yeah, again, this scenario is awesome. I do recommend everyone playing it at least 15 times. Alright, so that's it for today. Please join us tomorrow as we play the next scenario, scenario 8 in the video series, and that is Lost in the Fog. So as always, please comment, like, share and subscribe, and support your hobby.